Welcome back to TechNet Radio. In today's episode, we're joined by Greg Richards and Ryan Vatne as they discuss how Microsoft IT is deploying Office 365 messaging. Listen in as they chat about a hybrid on- and off-premise Exchange 2010 offering, its business and IT benefits, as well as keys to its success. Ryan, the mic is yours.
Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Ryan Vatne, and I'm a Senior Architect for Information Security and Risk Management. I've been at Microsoft for over 10 years now. Joining us today to talk about how Microsoft IT is deploying Office 365 messaging is Greg Richards.
Thanks, Ryan. My name is Greg Richards, and I've been with Microsoft for 11 years. I'm a Senior Program Manager in the Information Collaboration Services team within Microsoft IT, and I've been driving the Office 365 hybrid messaging deployment. Thanks for joining us.
So, first of all, Greg, what do you mean by hybrid messaging?
By hybrid messaging, that means that some of our users will have mailboxes in our on-premise service, and others will have their mailboxes hosted in the cloud. But in either case, their experience and productivity is seamless, blended, and the same. One interesting aspect of the hybrid model is that it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. We, the business, get to choose which users go where based on what our business needs are.
Sounds really interesting, Greg. Where do you start with this?
As part of our planning process, we found that there were several key work streams that were really important in making the rollout a success. And those were Exchange 2010 application compatibility, building out Active Directory federation services, mailbox migration planning, and specifically coordinating around other dependent technologies like Link 2010, and creating a cross-premise service support model.
Sounds like you've linked a few different pieces together here. Can you tell us more about how all these prepared you for the cloud?
Sure. So let's start with Exchange 2010 application compatibility. That was the first thing we did. When we upgraded from Exchange 2007 to Exchange 2010, one of the areas we paid a lot of attention to was upgrading line of business applications like Dynamic CRM, for instance, to make them compatible with Exchange 2010, and in that way reduce the chances of incompatibility with a hosted mailbox platform. This involved a number of different application teams and required coordination across several quarterly release cycles. But by doing that back then, now that we're moving mailboxes to the cloud, we have seamless interoperability with the many mail-enabled applications that all of the cloud mailbox users need to interact with.
That sounds like a great way to preserve the existing investment in our mail-enabled line of business applications. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, give us some flexibility in our messaging deployment. You also mentioned ADFS. What more can you tell us about this?
As an IT organization, we provide federated authentication to applications and external partners through Active Directory federation services. Office 365 uses federated authentication to provide single sign-on in our hybrid model, and so that makes ADFS a critical dependency for Office 365 services and increases the volume of our ADFS traffic significantly. So, to meet this new demand, we needed to scale up our ADFS service, and that meant additional types of monitoring, additional supporting infrastructure, and 24/7 support for the service. So the key takeaway is that federation services is one investment that any company that wants to go to the cloud will probably need to consider.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Greg. So once you have federation set up, what do we have to consider about planning for mailbox migrations?
Another good question. First off, let me describe a little bit about our approach towards mail. Parity of the mail experience was really important to us, and we felt that it shouldn't matter where the user's mailbox is located, that they should have the same great experience and productivity features either way. As a company, we're heavy users of the Exchange Unified Messaging and rich instant messaging presence and collaboration features, like conferencing, that are all integrated into our mailboxes. While we could have these features on using the on-premise Office Communication Server 2007, to get these features in the cloud required users to be on Link 2010, which is the new version of Office Communication Server. So for that reason, we made the worldwide Link 2010 rollout the leading edge of our large-scale Office 365 mailbox migrations, so that as users were upgraded to Link 2010, they became eligible for moving to Office 365. By organizing our rollout that way, we preserved cross-premise feature parity, all of it provided by Link 2010, and use a single service to provide these features to everyone. So, to that end, careful planning of that integrated technology rollout was something else that really helps to drive the successful move to Office 365.
Now, I understand support would be a major issue to consider as well?
Definitely. Support is always a complex problem because every company does it differently. And there are so many teams, technologies, processes, all to consider. Since Office 365 is effectively an external service provider, we needed to think through integrating our support model like any other hybrid customer would. We felt that transparency of the support is a key part of the user experience, so that there is really no difference in the support, regardless of which service the user happens to be in. And simplicity of the support model is key for the IT organization accountable for the service. So, in order to make the end user support experience seamless, we introduced new help desk processes for determining where the user's mailbox is located, either on-premise or in the cloud, and additional processes for troubleshooting dependencies like ADFS.
Great recap of the strategy to move to a hybrid model, Greg. What three key pieces of advice would you give our audience if they're looking to move to this model?
I would recommend that our audience take the time to understand how the hybrid model can work for them, that they study their application and integrated technology dependencies, and also to spend some time understanding the user experience and support. These are important points for any IT organization to consider in their planning to adopt cloud services.
Thank you, Greg, for taking the time to talk with us today. It was a pleasure talking with you and hearing more about what Microsoft is doing here. For additional information, you can go to the IT Showcase site and the Office 365 site or contact your account manager.
Thanks, Ryan. The pleasure was all mine. Thanks for watching today, and see you next time.